What's up, people? Afro Blade Master here for more Castlevania Symphony of the Night! Anyway, yes, this is being recorded immediately after the first episode, and I just wanted to point something out. As it says in the equip screen, that it doesn't really indicate it up right by it, but right hand and left hand. Oddly enough, right hand is square and left hand is circle, even though squares on the right side and circles on the squares on the left side and circles on the right. Don't pick on me. I get right and left confused sometimes. And I keep coughing in the freaking video. Anyway, right here is our very first relic, the Cube of Zoe. Now, what the Cube of Zoe does is, notice how in the last episode when we were hitting candles, nothing would come out of them, but now, BAM! Items drop from candles. Now, unlike most games, if you guys are not familiar with the Castlevania series, by the way, this hallway is just to give the game time to load up the next area. Excuse me. That Alchemy Lab. As I was saying, hearts, unlike most games, don't actually heal your hit points. They are ammo for sub-weapons, which we should be getting one pretty soon. This one drops those spikes. Bam, hide Cuirass. And now we have armor. These guys are called blood skeletons. They can't die. You hit them, they come back a few seconds later. Okay, not what I meant to do, but there's actually a way that, if you time it perfectly, you just jump straight through that without hitting the spikes. You're supposed to go, up and around here, which leads you to a save point, which we're not going to use right now. And, yeah, you're supposed to go up and around here to get there, but I decided not to. Oh, yes, and walking down on that will make the elevator rise. Enemies walking on the, stepping on the button will have the same effect, but it's hard to kill the enemy so they're like that. Okay, we just got a shield, so we equip that. Increase our defense a bit. Okay, why is my throat so freaking dry and scratchy all of a sudden? Just took a sip of soda. Oh, dude, that's one of the early. That's actually a really funny glitch in this game. See, there's no candle here, but if you were paying attention when I first came up here, you saw it. When I dropped off screen, it was gone. If I do it again, wait, now it's not. What the heck? Now it's not coming back. There it is. Yes, that's simply known as the disappearing candle glitch. It only happens with that candle, and if you destroy the candle, it won't do it until you come back. But there's just a little bit of money in it anyway, so it's not really that helpful. The first things first, we got a sub-weapon. My favorite sub-weapon to use is a la carte, the dagger. As I said in the first video, to use sub-weapons, you just hold up and press either attack button. Now, why do I love dagger? Because you can do something with it that you can't do with any other sub-weapon, and that is spam! Well, no, it doesn't work when it hits the wall, but spam! Okay, but more interestingly, down here, there's a hidden room. Now, I believe I know where every single hidden room is. Down here we get a life max up, increasing our max HP by 1. And over here, we have another hidden wall. Yeah, you'd never think that they would put two so close together. And we get a heart max up, which increases the max amount of hearts we can carry. Now, as I said, hearts are ammo for the sub-weapons, because as you can see, I have 45 hearts. Use the dagger, it goes down to 44. Now, okay, we just got resist thunder. That's an item I'll get into later. But I completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, now these guys who have poison dripping down from their faces. Yes, I haven't gotten... Oh, I never got into Alucard's controls. Okay, so I'll get into that now. You know, Alucard does not, unfortunately, does not have a dash. Unless, like this is his max running speed for a long time. He can go faster, but that's not till later. Like much later. You know, as far as other stuff, like he doesn't have a he doesn't have like a slide when he ducks down. But what he can do is press triangle. He like does like a backwards dash. You know, that does move you slightly faster. But I honestly don't think it's worth but like if you do it and you're not paying attention, you'll get hit. It's more of a dodge for when you're in combat. But I do it randomly. Like sometimes I'll just do it to to dodge an enemy. Other times Other times I'll just do it for the heck of it. Yes, as you can see, the shield. Okay, now if a character is actually like throws a punch or swings something at you, the shield does no help. The shield is just for blocking projectiles. So if someone throws if someone throws something or shoots something at you, you can use your shield to block it. Now, yes, the okay, now lost my train of thought again. Anyway, bam. Now there's a new sub-weapon. You can only hold one sub-weapon at a time. Now, normally I would just say if you're using Alucard, just carry the dagger with you at all times. But this one does actually help with this boss. Yes, this is a boss. This is why the door's sealed. It's a twin boss, actually. I believe one of their names is Goblin. I can't remember. I think the other one's like Slytherin or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember their names. But yes, they each have two forms. This guy, which I believe is Goblin, he'll have a blue and a red state. The red state, just the fireballs are bigger. And the other guy, he'll just have one form with a spear and one without. I don't have enough freaking hearts. Okay, now different sub-weapons take up different amount of hearts, which is another part of the reason why I recommend a dagger over the other ones. Because the dagger only takes up one heart. The axe, however, takes up two. So as you can see, even though I have one heart, I can't use the axe because, well, yeah, it's not working. Okay, now another thing about with Dark Metamorphosis, like if I were to stand next to that zombie when like that soldier, the soldier's name is Bloody Zombie. If I were to stand next to when it was doing that, it wouldn't have made a freaking difference. Like only the little spurt when you hit him with your sword actually counts. Like the big like cloud of blood, that doesn't heal you at all. Yes, as you can tell, this game is not rated E. I believe this game is... man, what's it rated? I should go back to the to an old video and look at it. But yeah. You know, another thing I could never really understand is sometimes when you're standing and you hold up, Alucard stands like this. But other times, as you saw when I was on the elevator, other times you'll pull his cloak over him. Just swing your sword at that and bam, you open that cannon, and that brings us back here. Press select. You press select, you can bring up your map. the lines are like the walls. The blue spaces are the places we've been, obviously. And where there isn't a line, or where there's a break in the line, that means that's a door, a doorway or something. Okay, now this item, the ballasted, or however the hell you pronounce it, I kind of like using this because you can attack a lot faster. Plus, there's an enemy later where if you hold it, it'll still hurt them. Yeah, see, like I guess when Alucard gets relaxed like this and you hold up, he'll bring up he'll pull his cloak up. But otherwise, he'll just do that like other weird stance. And I apologize for this elevator taking so long. That's just how it is. Oh, and by the way, this is not a 100% run. Now, since I know where all the hidden rooms are, I will do my best to show those. But, yeah, no guarantee. But yeah, like, I will do my best to show all the hidden rooms and stuff, but I'm not going to go out of my way to show you where every single item is. I'm not going to get every single item. I'm not going to explore, like, every single inch of the castle. Actually, that's a complete and utter lie, because at some point I'm going to. Because, spoiler, 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 there are multiple endings. And which ending you get is determined by whether or not you get a specific item, or whether or not you complete, like, explore a certain amount of the castle. Okay, now this sub-weapon I just got, the diamond or the reflector. It'll just reflect off walls. This is probably another one of my favorite ones because it's actually fairly strong. I think each one will bounce like. Hold on, let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, 15 bounces? That's a lot more than I thought it would be. Yes, there can only be 3 on screen at a time. On this one, the purification salt. Basically it's just... Oh, I can't show you because I don't have any freaking hearts. I basically just throw some salt down and it does a lot of damage to enemies. But I don't really like to use that, and my dad's calling me, so be right back. Okay, back. Sorry about the sudden cut. My dad called me for dinner and my controller shut off. Anyway, I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, I have no freaking clue what I was saying. Anyway, let's just continue. Oh yes, and we have the holy water. Okay, now thing to note, like if one Alucard can't use Hydro Storm. But another thing to note, like with Alucard, the flame is just like that. But with Richter, the flame is kind of like leaves like a trail. And okay, now normally I wouldn't mention this until it was relevant. But since its relevance will be at the end of the Let's Play, I might as well say it now. Once you beat, like, the reason why I'm telling you what, like what the differences are between Alucard and Richter is because, with the exception of the very beginning, the only way you can actually play as Richter, but only if you beat the game. Yes, once you beat the game, you can play as Richter. Okay, now, as you notice, I grabbed the dagger, because I'm going to go down here now, and the dagger will help out immensely. Against a few specific enemies. My max hearts are 72, so I don't even have half. Okay, now I'm closer to half. Yeah, so I'm just kind of running around. Like, most of these enemies are fairly standard. Like if if a noteworthy enemy comes up, I'll tell you more about them. Like these creepy living dolls. As far as I know, like in this game, they're just creepy as all get out. You know, ooh, another relic. The spirit orb. If I'm correct, it tells you how much damage you're dealing. Sorry, I had to stop for a second to cough. Yeah, I really shouldn't have recorded while still recovering from illness. But you know what? Screw it. Gonna keep recording. I stopped son of a... you know what? I have no idea how long the first part of this episode is. I mean... This is why I love the dagger. Just look at this. It's just a chain of damage. I mean, we could have just sat there doing this and done 8 damage per strike, which probably would have averaged out to be slightly higher. Oh, these guys are interesting. Like, if you run up to them, they cower. But if you stay away from them and they see you, they'll throw their boomerangs at you. On these things, they're just called... Even though they look to be like animal skeletons on fire, they're just called ghosts. Yes, and all that was in the hall was money. Several one coin, like several like $1 in coins, and one. I think it was like, what was it, like 400? Yes, this guy is evil. Which is why I make sure I have dagger and, hold up. This candle right here, bam. That's holy water. By the way, I can't tell you, like, I wouldn't be able to point it out on the map, but I kind of memorized which candles are freaking sub-weapons. And we're all the way back here. Hit that, we get a shield potion, which, oddly enough, is a pill. And we're back here. And the enemies are different! Okay, now I'm going to cut out me backtracking. I'll see you guys back at that save point. Okay, I'm back. And yeah, I'm probably going to end up cutting it soon anyway. But there's a cutscene up here I want to get to.
Wait a moment. You seem human, and yet, what do you here?
I've come to destroy this castle.
Then we have the same purpose. I'll trust you for now. I'm Maria. Who are you?
Alucard.
Not the talkative type, I can see. Well, perhaps we'll meet again. If you live that long. Farewell.
Okay, two things. One, when I was little and she said, "What do you hear?" I always thought she meant like, "What does he hear?" Like hear with his ears, not "What is he doing here?" And two, like this statue moves. This statue opens and closes once a minute. Like after 1 minute it'll open, after another minute it'll close, and it does that in an infinite loop. The other one can only be opened by a sub-weapon. A very specific sub-weapon which we will be getting fairly soon. If I remember correctly. Not this one. I don't want that one. I want to keep the dagger. But yeah, for the most part, I'll only be getting the other sub-weapons to show you what they do. I'm mainly going to be sticking with the dagger the entire game. Let's see. Oh, this is it. Hold up. Okay, I just kind of coughed again. This is a stopwatch, which gets immediately replaced with the Bible. Which the Bible's okay. I prefer other weapons over it. But the stopwatch is incredibly useful. Only drawback is that it costs 20 hearts. Let's just keep going straight and magically shielded, meaning we can't. Meaning, buddy, you can't go through there unless you get a certain item. You dillweed. Was going to say something else, but then I remembered. Well, some kids might be watching this, and I don't want to get an angry letter saying, "Oh, you've been teaching my kids dirty words and da 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 da." Okay, but this enemy has always been kind of weird. Like if you notice when you hit her, she turns and they actually drew a butt crack on her. I could make like 7 different booty jokes right now, but I choose not to. Oh, it's another cool little thing. If you look through that window by that angel statue, for some reason there is an eyeball floating in the background. Never really understood why. In fact, it's really fucking creepy. I mean, it doesn't appear anywhere else in the game, just in the background of this hallway. Son of a... But yes, yeah, this thing is annoying because it keeps turning you to fucking stone. Okay, now... You know... Let's see, I could talk... Let's see, let's, like... let me ask you guys a quick question. Do you guys want me to do another LP aside from this one? Because since this one is a more adult game, so it's gonna be focused on more of an adult audience. Because like I'm thinking about like taking a page from Josh Jepson's book and like do like 2 LPs, like one more adult LP and another one for like all ages. Oh, I hate this guy. Using one of the spells. Yes, sometimes the spells and stuff. Well, sometimes the stopwatch won't actually freeze enemies; it'll just slow them down. Like it does with this guy. Come on, do freaking Tetra Spirit! There we go. There we go. Freaking killed him. Why did I take the point to kill that guy? To go to this empty room. But this empty room has a secret. A pot roast, and if you hold down here, you know, it's hold up. I think. You know, it is hold down. Hold down for a few seconds. Whatcha? Get the jewel knuckles in the mirror curious. And thank you, game, for giving hints. Well, like saying miss could pass there. You know, jeweled knuckles, that'll raise our attack by a lot. But I normally don't use it because the attack is actually fairly slow. However, the mirror curious will raise our defense a little bit, but we can't turn to stone as long as we have it equipped. Hop back on that platform, and it takes us right back up. We'll just keep the jeweled knuckles equipped for a little while, just to give it some screen time. You know, down here there's not really anything, like, there's nothing necessary down here. Down here is just more for map completion. If you press up here, you can look through the telescope. And we can see there's a guy rowing a boat there. He will be important later. Oh yes, and I think depending on what time you come down here, like that bird will be there. Occasionally it'll leave an egg, it'll leave a couple eggs, and sometimes the eggs will hatch, and it's just another one of those cool little things. Oh, and something I've been kind of wanting to, something I wanted to bring up, but never thought about until like the guy that was right here died, is that a lot of the enemies have interesting ways of dying. Like the Axemen, they just kind of, like their armor falls apart. I mean, sure, the skeletons just kind of blow apart. Speaking of axe guys, this is an upgraded version of them. There are green ones and blue ones. The blue ones are stronger. Another thing, a chair. You can sit in chairs. This has been in a handful. This has been in at least a couple Castlevania games. But this, like in this one, it doesn't serve much of a purpose. I know in the PS2 and Xbox, in one of the ones for the PS2 and Xbox, I believe it's Curse of Darkness. You can sit in chairs and they'll go into a special chair room that'll, so like you can see all the chairs you've sat in, and I think, and you might be able to get something after it, I don't know. Anyway, on note of talking about a completely different game, we shall end it here, okay guys? I'll talk to you next time. This is Afro Blade Master, logging off.